unity and solidarity. Come what may, there'll be one fine day, the day we renew our homeland. With blessing from the sky, our dreamland will shine.
The time is now 8 a.m. in the Kingdom of Thailand.
On radio, online, and on your mobile. This is Radio Thailand FM 88.
This is Radio Thailand News. Brought to you by Subaru Forester, the extraordinary SUV. Book your test drive at home now at Subaru.Asia.
The WHO launches a global data hub in the German capital of Berlin to analyze information on emerging pandemic threats. More on the story after these messages.
ความปลอดภัยอยู่ในหัวใจของ Subaru ให้หัวใจนี้คอยดูแลคุณในช่วงวิกฤตเพื่อพร้อมออกเดินทางใหม่อีกครั้งในสถานการณ์ที่ทำให้การเดินทางของคุณมีอุปสรรคมากมายเราพร้อมออกเดินทางไปกับคุณเพื่อให้คุณมั่นใจเหมือนกับที่เรามั่นใจในเทคโนโลยีความปลอดภัยของ Subaru ด้วยบริการนัดหมายส่วนตัวเรายินดีต้อนรับด้วยทีมงานที่ผ่านการฉีดวัคซีน Let's move on สัมผัสได้ทุกความปลอดภัยที่โชว์รูม Subaru ทั่วประเทศ
ในช่วงเวลาที่เราทุกคนต่างต่อสู้ในสมรภูมิโควิด -19 ทุกคนต่างระดมสรรพกำลังช่วยเหลือกันอย่างไม่รู้จักเหน็ดเหนื่อยโครงการลมหายใจเดียวกันกลุ่มปตท.ขอร่วมเป็นอีกหนึ่งพลังส่งมอบเครื่องช่วยหายใจอุปกรณ์ทางการแพทย์และความช่วยเหลือด้านต่างๆที่จำเป็นให้เราก้าวผ่านวิกฤตครั้งนี้ไปด้วยกันกลุ่มปตท.เคียงข้างสังคมไทยด้วยลมหายใจเดียวกัน
The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, is the premier regional economic forum consisting of 21 economies. Thailand is proud to host APEC in 2022 and will facilitate important discussions on economic recovery, public health and well-being, and sustainable and inclusive growth. Let's work together to explore new opportunities. APEC 2022 Thailand.
สนใจลงโฆษณาใน Radio Thailand FM 88 โทร 02-439-6599
First up in our national segments. The ongoing central debate has discussed the government's alleged mismanagement of COVID-19 vaccines, with the opposition arguing that the efficacy of the Sinovac jab against COVID-19 proved lacking, given its high price tag. In response, officials from the Ministry of Public Health assured that the Sinovac doses are safe and effective against the coronavirus. They also noted that it passed inspection by the Department of Medical Sciences and has been proven in both laboratories and real-world environments. Officials added that although all vaccine types are showing reduced efficacy against the Delta variants, they have since devised the Sinovac-AstraZeneca mix and match regimen, in which recipients are administered the Sinovac jab as their first dose and the AstraZeneca vaccine as their second. Studies have shown administering two vaccines improves the overall efficacy, equivalent to 2 AstraZeneca doses. Concerning the transparency in the procurement of 8.5 million antigen test kits, which will be distributed to the general public by the National Health Security Office elsewhere in the world. The World Health Organization, or WHO, has launched a global data hub in the German capital Berlin to analyze information on emerging pandemic threats, filling the gaps exposed by COVID-19. The WHO Hub for Pandemic and Epidemic Intelligence was inaugurated by German Chancellor Angela Merkel and WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who said it would fill a gap in the world's defenses. Ghebreyesus said that with the right information, countries and communities can stay ahead of emerging risks and save lives. The Data Hub, which has received initial funding from Germany, is set to bring together experts from various disciplines in Berlin to analyze data quickly in order to predict, prevent, and prepare for the response to risks worldwide. And catch Radio Thailand's early news for more updates around the clock at FM 88 and also online at nbt.purity.go.th. I'm Kajangwit Jotjit. Swadee Krap.
Brought to you by Subaru Forester, the extraordinary SUV. Book your test drive at home now at Subaru.Asia.
This is Radio Thailand News.
MFA updates.
Good morning. สวัสดีครับ You are listening to MFA Update, a weekly program on Thailand's foreign affairs. We interview guests from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I am Wanachai Jittiwong. This week, we will be focusing on Kuwait. I interviewed with Tharm Mongkol, Thai ambassador to Kuwait. He will disclose Kuwait as a prospering economy and his goals to enhance Thailand-Kuwait cooperation, seeking opportunities for Thailand to trade with and invest in this oil-rich nation. He's on the line now. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ It's a pleasure to be here. A warm greeting to Thai audience too.
All right, thank you for your presence. May I begin with the very familiar question about the current situation of COVID-19. How is the situation in Kuwait when it comes to COVID-19? And what are your roles as Thai ambassador to Kuwait in helping the Thai people and community in Kuwait during the pandemic?
Well, let's see. I will answer one by one then.
Yeah.
For the first one, the COVID situation in Kuwait today is quite different from what happened before. I arrived in Kuwait last year, during which the pandemic has started for months.
Mm-hmm.
So Kuwait began to close the country lockdown and curfew were imposed as the newly daily case rose from 600 to 1,200. But this is a serious concern for Kuwait because the total population is only 3 million. So the ratio of COVID case per population was very high at that time.
Yeah.
In December, Kuwait started to order vaccines. Only 4 brands: Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna. So after that, they set up the vaccine center and developed online registration for vaccine, and then the mobile application for issuing a vaccine certificate. So at present, the situation here is much better. The new COVID case is reduced to 400 cases a day, and active case is about 8,000, and 2.6 million Kuwaiti receive vaccines, half and half for first and second dose. Vaccinated people allowed to dine in the restaurant and enter shopping mall.
Wow.
But they must show a vaccine certificate via mobile application. Big gatherings and functions are still prohibited. Mask wearing and social distancing are in practice. So we continue to monitor the situation closely because it's a pandemic,
Yeah.
You cannot fall into complacencies. It may erupt anytime.
Yeah.
So about my roles here, as far as I concern, my role here is to be able to run the office during the pandemic and adapt to the new normal. So first, I make sure that it's about budget,
Yeah.
I have to make sure that budget allocated is spent wisely as planned, as well as the implementation of few projects that we can do. Second is to provide service to customer. I'm talking about Kuwaiti and Thais,
Yeah.
such as visa issue for Kuwaiti, service and assistance to the Thai in Kuwait during the pandemic, and meanwhile maintain close contact with the Kuwait Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other agencies online. Third, lastly, is to protect the well-being of our diplomat, local staff and their families.
Yeah.
So we did set the COVID safety measurements to comply, as well as the standard of procedure in case that someone was infected, and then moral support given, of course, to our staff and let them know that you always have someone like me to fall back on. And lastly, we make sure that all receive vaccine. So far we have like 1 diplomat and 1 local staff infected. After home quarantine and treatment, they are okay now. So I would like to add also that there is a lesson learned here too. For example, I faced difficulty at the beginning. The problem arose before even my arrival, when the COVID new case was very high at that time. There were already few complaints and negative comments by a few Thai people here in social media, criticizing the lack of embassy attention to help a few people and laborers. Well, understand that it's the first time for the people to be in this predicament of panic, sad, lockdown, nowhere to go, desperate. If the people are happy, they don't usually contact us, but whenever they feel insecure or fearful, they always look for the embassy to help. So it does make sense.
Yeah.
we have like 1,500 Thais in Kuwait, so it was quite a challenge to meet their expectation with the limited resource we had. So after arrival and out of the quarantine, I called the embassy meeting for self-evaluation so as to discuss way and mean to improve our assistance. At the end, it was concluded that we did the work. We went out help, but not enough. Few places afar we missed, and some place we went to help, but we didn't do PR at all. So people didn't know what we done. Moreover, we didn't communicate with the Thai community well enough. Didn't respond to their complaint in time. Another issue was that our staff were afraid to go out in the area of crowd populated areas prone of COVID too. After all, we have one life to live. So in the embassy, in the meeting, pessimism and stress were overwhelming. I had to give them moral support and encourage them that was our responsibility and accountability. Stay positive. People in need relies on us. So frankly speaking, we actually risk our life out there to help people in need. So respect to you all. After delegated our works after the meeting, we take action. We took action. We split into few groups. Wearing a mask, went out, give survival bags, which contain mask, hand gel, dry food, water, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, to few places and labor camps far away for few times. Also, we assist few patients to the hospital. In addition, we also provide assistance to 700 Thai in Kuwait who wish to go back home. We arranged a repatriation flight back home many times, which actually were quite difficult. We did some registration, help control, booking flight via Doha Airport in Qatar because there's the direct flight from Kuwait to Bangkok was suspended. But anyway, it went well thanks to the support of the Royal Thai Embassy in Doha and Consular Affairs Department. So now our relationship with the Thai community is much improved. This month, we also set up the online meeting with the Thai community to say hello and exchange views and information. We will also have a new project called We Care to provide herbal medicine, called Andrographis paniculata. Difficult spelling. In Thai, it's fertilizer. 500 sets to all the Thai here. So in summary, I think we learned from the past mistake. It requires a growth mindset to improve ourselves and our doing, make things happen. We also need the passion, empathy, and sympathy to do the job. And extra thing, and it's a must, is that we have to do a PR for our works in social media, Facebook, Instagram, website, Line, every time, not to take everything for granted.
Interesting. It's like the COVID-19 crisis brings opportunity to us to see the clear picture of what is going on so far, and we realize that we have done not enough, right? And so now the services that has been improved thanks to this struggle over the COVID-19.
It was difficult though. I think all embassy did the same thing. You know, we did our work. We volunteer. We risk our life for the betterment of the Thai people in overseas.
Yeah, right. Okay. How much does the COVID-19 affect the embassy's plans and efforts to promote trade and investment relations between the two countries? And actually, what are the embassy's goals in increasing trade and investment with Kuwait, and how to achieve these goals?
Interesting question. Thailand and Kuwait trade is only 35 billion baht in 2019. It is done through, export, import of traditional goods. For example, we import oil and gas from Kuwait, and then we export automobile parts, spare parts, refrigerator, electronic, rice, food, textile to Kuwait. The spread of the pandemic last year caused the total trade to drop to 25 billion baht due to the suspension of the air service for both passenger and cargo. Now the cargo flight just resumed it. So with respect to our plan to promote medical and tourism, our plan to organize the seminar are postponed, as well as the plan for bilateral visit by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs. Our embassy postponed plan for meeting to discuss about the joint venture in hospital and energy sector are also delayed. Regarding our goals to achieve the trade and investment, I think our mission statement of the embassy clearly outlined the promotion of trade, tourism, and investment. Therefore, we call it MTE is initiated as our goal. MTE stands for medical tourism, Thai mart, and energy. Actually, when we look at the big picture of the bilateral relation, these three areas are, standing out and potential to explore. So we prefer to start from the three sector, the small one, small is beautiful, rather than the ambition plan with many projects, taking into consideration that our embassy is very small.
Yeah.
We have only 3 diplomats.
Oh.
So therefore we just set up 3 goals.
Yeah.
And what we do is just connecting the dots to reach each goal step by step. First, the medical tourism. The rationale behind is that in 2019, there were about 80,000 Kuwaiti visit Thailand for medical treatment, for tourism. So we want to pursue this path. And for Thai mart, I think is the idea that, one building, housing every shop, sell products, OTOP products, food, restaurant, spa, and massage. It works as a storage and distribution center. Thailand and Kuwait is quite far. Flying from Bangkok to Kuwait, it takes about 6 or 7 hours. So I think we need something like a depot or storage or distribution center for Thai products here. And we hope that it will culminate into a success like the one in Bahrain. The last one is energy. So there is not much Thai investment here in Kuwait. And then almost 6 months ago, we were approached by the Gulf Energy Company in Thailand regarding their keen interest in investing in power plant here, renewable industry. So we realized that Kuwait is very potential area for solar energy and to set up the power plant. or even the rooftop PV for solar energy is promising businesses. So it suits well with the Kuwait energy, and I think it's catch the interest of the Thai private sector.
Yeah.
So we want to help them. We want to promote this. So what we have done so far, we just made the supplement in the Kuwait Times newspaper in July. The supplement contained information about Thai hospital and their expertise. We articles about Phuket Sandbox, how to travel to Thailand. So far, we managed to have like 327 Kuwaiti visiting Phuket, spend their money there. Last week, we just had the online meeting between Thai businessmen in Kuwait and the Thai Mart in Bahrain. Moreover, we also supply the list of Kuwait automobile business to Thai Trade Dubai for matchmaking online. We constantly organize the online meeting between the Gulf Energy Company, Thai Embassy, and Kuwait government agencies. We also working closely online with Dusit Thani Group and Al Fajr International Holding Company for a contract signing to open Dusit Princess Mabula in Kuwait, another Dusit hotel branch in Kuwait, the new one. Hopefully, will be open the hotel next year.
Yeah, the business opportunities are quite great there. What about the overall Thailand-Kuwait relations? What do you think?
This year is the 58th year of the establishment of diplomatic relation between the two countries. Close and cordial, I would say, for the relationship. And I think that would be the answer from all ambassadors if you interview them, you know. Sometimes I wonder we are programmed to answer this way. But actually, Thailand is loved by many countries. This is due to the hard work by the Thai ambassador from the past until present. Right. I think it's a great success, but it actually ignored by the public who put more attention to domestic matters, social problems, violence, entertainment, etc.
Yeah.
Given the pandemic, I have been in touch with my counterpart from MFA and other to review any Memorandum of Understanding with Kuwait, such as the exemption of visa, the setup of the Joint Commission, MOU on agricultural cooperation or education, you know. And moreover, I also have few contact with the Kuwaiti private sector, because this is the role of the ambassador. It's like a door knocker to harness opportunity for trade and investment.
How do you see the future opportunities and challenges in Thailand-Kuwait relations in the post-COVID era? What more can be done?
I'm humbly of the view that the future trend in general would be like the first thing is the debt rising. For example, Thailand, the public debt is about 42%, of course, belowing what IMF ceiling.
Yeah.
But the household debt is 90% plus. So it's alarming figure, not only for Thailand but other countries. And the second one is probably the divided society, access to the vaccines, hospital, not only Thailand but around the world. So the gap between the rich, the poor, and the middle income are widening.
Yeah.
The third trend would be digital.
Right.
We are living in globalized dual world now, real life and life in social media. Mobile phone is part of our life, aside from the food, clothes, shelter,
the fifth factor, so called.
Medicine. So it's start from the fourth industrial revolution to internet century, the century where we democratized information, so everyone has equal access to information. But then came the cloud computing and blockchain technology, which enable us not only to share information but also share value and asset in the global market. And that's why there's cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, which will be becoming more fashionable in the near future. And the last trend, I think, is about the environmental degradation, El Nino, typhoon, greenhouse effect around the world. I think both Thailand and Kuwait joined the international community in promoting green economy.
Right, we have BCG.
So, for Thailand, it's a BCG, it's a circular and green economy, which was launched by the government. So I think it's our own identities, agriculture, natural resource, energy, good medical infrastructure, and renowned tourist service and logistic hub in the region. So we are positioning ourselves well toward the sustainable development path, which will benefit all sectors in society. For Thailand and Kuwait, I think we share and value our cooperation in area of tourism, medical, agriculture, and renewable energy. It is a brave new world. And I think we need to be prepared and resilient for any change coming. And thus the Royal Thai Embassy in Kuwait stand ready and look forward to the promising future for both countries. I think that's it.
All right. Thank you for your insightful comment, and we learned a lot about the great opportunities despite challenges, but we have a large room to improve for both of us after the COVID-19 is over. Maybe we shall see there are a lot more benefits that we can reap together.
Of course, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
The foreign affairs that matter. Special guests from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the MFA Updates.
That was Ruth ธรรมมงคล Thai Ambassador to Kuwait. Thailand and Kuwait have enjoyed solid friendship for a long time, which can be further improved in the post-COVID world, where a new frontier of opportunity will be opened for both countries. And that's it for our program this week. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can always find us on Facebook, FM 88 Radio Thailand English to see the rest of editions and other news. We also have YouTube channel, MFA Thailand. Bye for today. See you next time. สวัสดีครับ
Bangkok's one and only all English news and music station, Radio Thailand FM 88.